The Honda Passport is the SUV you buy if you have 2 children, because of course if you only have 1 child, you buy the CR-V, but if you have 3 children or more, you buy the Pilot. So what if you want to go on a road trip with your family, your 2 children, in the Honda Passport? How fuel efficient will it be? Today, we're going to find out. This is Chris here with Daily Motor, and today we've got the real-world highway fuel economy test on the 2022 Honda Passport. Before we get started, let's hop out and take a walk around this car. So this Passport in particular is the Trail Sport, but the only thing that really sets this aside from a regular Passport is the wheel and tire setup. So we've got slightly smaller wheels and a slightly more aggressive highway terrain tire on this car, but otherwise we've got the same V6 engine, the same 9-speed automatic transmission that you get in just a regular Passport. Therefore, EPA ratings are the same for this car that they would be for just a regular all-wheel drive Passport. We've been living with this car for a week and it's actually been quite nice. The only thing that really is slightly concerning is the fuel economy, because of course this car does have a V6 as opposed to a turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that you may find in a similar car in this class. So the question is it worth having the extra power and torque and sacrificing some of that fuel economy? So let's go and see how well this car actually does. So why do we perform this test? Well, the EPA's fuel economy test, which gives this all-wheel drive Honda Passport 24 MPG on the highway, only averages 48 miles per hour. And we know that some people like to take their cars on actual road trips. So what we do is go out 50 miles and back 50 miles, averaging 70 miles per hour for a more real-world figure. A couple things worth noting for today's test. Outside temperature is 65 degrees Fahrenheit. We'll be running the climate control inside the car at 73 degrees auto. You can see I've already got that set right now. Tire pressures have been set to their factory door placard indicated 35 PSI cold. And we'll be using the same gas pump both times, using the same 3-click filling method to get the most accurate results possible. All right, let's go ahead, hop out, and grab our first fill. Exactly 8.5 gallons in there for our first fill. It's got a pretty big tank in this Passport, almost 20 gallons. We've been driving this thing all week and it's only used 8 gallons of gas, so not too bad. Cool, well, let's go ahead and get started here with our test. All right, climate control is set, and before we set off, we're just going to go ahead and zero out our trip here. Put the car into drive and get going. All right, merging on nice and smoothly here onto the highway. Now, the purpose of this test is not to hypermile. I'm not going to be getting on the highway doing any sort of purposely economical driving. I won't be drafting or doing anything like that. I'm simply going to merge here onto the highway, set the cruise control to a GPS indicated 72 miles per hour, and just drive for 100 miles. All right, cruise control set here, so I'm going to go ahead and get settled into this Honda Passport. Under first highway impressions, it's a pretty nice place to be. It's not the most aerodynamic thing in the world, so you do have some wind. Though granted, it is quite windy out today, so not really the best conditions to judge wind noise in. These highway terrain tires aren't super loud, though they are a little bit louder than what you get in just a standard Passport that wasn't a Trail Sport. Otherwise, though, we do have lane keep assist as well as radar cruise. We can adjust that using our steering wheel controls here. Otherwise, though, it seems to ride quite nicely, and these seats are comfy as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get settled in here, and I'll catch up with you guys once I am towards the end of my journey. finishing up our trip here in the Honda Passport, just about 90 miles down, and indicated on the cluster we have done just over 25 MPG, so 1 MPG over EPA's estimated rating for this car. As far as the overall driving experience, highway impressions goes, this has been a really, really great car to spend just over an hour in. It's got quite an impressive lane keep assist system that'll let you go for, I don't know, 10-15 seconds without touching the steering wheel, so that is good. Radar Cruise does a pretty good job as well, and I really don't have any complaints with this car. It's a really nice, comfortable place to be. You've got armrests that are adjustable, and there's just so much room in here to put things that I think that this would be quite a practical car for long road trips, and I think that this would be quite a nice option for some people that is often overlooked. A lot of people don't really know about the Passport just because it's kind of like a unique car in the market, unique size. So with all that being said though, I'm going to go ahead and finish out my last 8-ish miles here, and I will catch up with you guys once I have brimmed the tank on the Honda Passport. And 3.818 gallons in there for our final fill. So today's journey was 96.26 miles. Let's go ahead and divide that by the 3.818 gallons of gas that we used, and that gives us 25.2 MPG, right on with what the car was reading out at 25.1. So 25 MPG achieved here for the Honda Passport. 1 MPG over EPA, so always good to see when cars go above and beyond their EPA rating, even if it's only by a mile per gallon. So let's go ahead and take this number and multiply it by the 19.5 gallon tank, and that gives us an effective highway cruising range of 490 miles. So almost to that 500 mile range, but pretty dang close. So there you go, 25 MPG, 490 miles of effective highway cruising range. So that certainly isn't best in class for this car, but in my opinion, it's a price worth paying to retain that V6. I really do like driving SUVs this size that still have the torque of a V6. So that'll wrap it up for today. If you guys want to learn more about the Honda Passport Trail Sport, we'll have links in the description for a full review and a sound system test, as well as a video on the infotainment system. So thank you all so much for watching. This has been Chris here with Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.